I can be in love if I am not in love. But now I see all the times things I've given up. I can be.
Okay, so welcome to the Creative Complex podcast, where we explore the many facets of creatives and artists of Las Vegas, Nevada. Our guest today is Zack Gray, singer-songwriter, producer, currently resides in Las Vegas, Nevada. Gray has opened up for many well-known acts, including Imagine Dragons, K-Flay, am I saying that right? AWOL Nation, Dashboard Confessional, Broods, Capital Cities, and The Neighborhood. His music also has been placed in the popular MTV and MTV2 programs True Life, Real World, Made, Are You the One, Buried Life, Virgin Territory, and in ABC's Rising Star. Gray recently signed with the Orchard Distribution, Sony, for his songs A Love, Old and Gray, and A Man Apart. So without further ado, what's up, man?
What's up, man?
Zack Gray.
I should have updated my bio before this dude read it.
What you have? Is there more?
There has been more things that happened, but yeah, that's good. I guess that's a good intro. There is more things that have occurred, but
Okay.
that's good.
Well, that's just the stuff I took off your website. So
Yeah.
my name's Jared Sanchez with
What's
my
up?
co-host Blake Wisner.
How's it going, guys?
What's up, guys?
All right, so Zach, man, we just want to say thanks for coming on. I know it's late. You know, we've all been working all day. We're all tired, but we're here because we
I'm
love
good.
to
I
create.
About to work a little
thrive
more.
in the night, dude. We're just getting started.
Oh yeah. All right. So okay, so yeah, man. So let's just open it up. Where were you born?
Where was I born?
Yeah.
I was born in Roseville, California,
Okay.
which is
I thought you were born in Sacramento.
Well, yeah, I claim Sacramento because most people don't know where Roseville is, but Roseville is a suburb of Sacramento.
Okay,
I'm from the burbs, straight burbs.
the burbs.
nice.
Cool,
Yeah.
man. So what brought you out here?
Oh man, that's a long story.
You're here. That's why you're here, brother.
Man, I'm gonna. Well, my dad moved here at some point, and I came to visit him. And I met a girl while I was out visiting him. I was doing the band thing for a really long time, and
Nice.
then I was just over doing the band thing anymore, and I just, because of this girl and
Solo
and-
stuff.
Yeah, I was already thinking about doing solo stuff, and you know, this girl and my dad being here kind of gave me just a reason to move here, and I was just tired of living in my hometown of Roseville in Sacramento, and I really wanted to go to LA, but for the circumstance at the time, I just felt like, you know what, I'm gonna move to Vegas. Can we swear? I don't know if I should swear, but
Go for it.
Fuck.
I was just like, fucking
Say it
move
all.
to Vegas, bro.
You just lay it all out.
Don't you
there.
fucking swear. No.
No, we
Kids may be watching.
speak
I don't
freely.
know. Okay, I'll speak
Excuse-
freely.
excuse
But
my
anyways,
language.
yeah, man. I mean, to make a long story short, yeah, my dad moved here, met a girl out here visiting him for my birthday, and just was like, dude, I'm gonna move to Vegas,
So when you were playing in bands in Roseville, right? Roseville.
Roseville, Sacramento. Yeah.
When you were doing the whole band thing, was it just like local gigs, or was it more just like coffee shops, bars? What were you doing to like get money, get by?
Dude, I mean, I've had different jobs since I was like 16 or 15. So no, I wasn't like a full-time musician back then.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, of course it was just local stuff. And then at some point, yeah, we had some major openings for bigger bands, including the ones that he already mentioned. But yeah, dude, I mean, I started in the Roseville, Sacramento scene when I played my first show when I was like 13 or 14. I mean, I started also, like the first big things I remember were I auditioned for the talent show like my sophomore year with some random song. I just like sent him the song. I didn't even audition. I didn't get it, but then my my junior and senior year, my junior year I won like best solo artist and my band won, and then the next year we won best band. So those are like the first things where I was like, okay, there's something to this music thing for me, and I guess I mean, you know, I think everybody at some point there's like, yeah, I would tell anybody like, look, believe in yourself, even if everyone thinks you fucking suck, like keep going. But
so let me ask you this: do you come from like a musical family?
I do not come from a musical family.
What got you into music specifically, though? What was your inspiration like?
Well, let me finish what I was just gonna say really quick.
Oh, of course,
it's just that there's at some point there's things in your life that you're like, you get that validation and you go, okay, and that's either God or the universe telling you like, all right, you're kind of good at this.
Awesome.
Like keep going.
And that was it for you. That moment you're
Well,
like, you know what?
There
I
was
can
like
do
a
this.
church battle of the bands. Then there was another battle of the bands, and then there was the talent show at my school, and like I won all these things, and I was like, okay, like that was the first time where I really got like a validation of like, okay, like you should keep doing this.
And so you're just self-taught, like taught yourself everything.
So and that goes into his question. I mean, so when I was 5, I got my first guitar. I didn't even know how to play the guitar. But then when
What kind of guitar?
it was some classical. Dude, actually, that's a funny story. So we were going to Connecticut, which is where my grandparents on my mom's side are, and there was this like classical guitar like this big, and my mom convinced me the whole plane ride, the whole trip to Connecticut, that was a tennis racket for my grandpa. And like, dude, it's like a guitar case, okay?
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's literally
see how-
like a guitar case, but I'm like 6 or 5 or something, and I was like, so literally like when the guitar came out on Christmas, I was like 100% surprise. That's the
Nice.
gullibility
That's
of
amazing.
little kids.
Hey man,
Yeah, but yeah,
parents say the darndest things.
yeah, dude. So that was when it started, and then I didn't even know how to tune that guitar for a really long time. But I was in a private school till 5th grade, and I played violin. So that's where music started really for me. And then I saw some kid at my school play guitar, and I just remember looking at him, and I was like, fuck, I want to play guitar, dude. Like, fuck this violin shit. I probably didn't think fuck this violin shit when I was 7 or something like that, but I just remember being like,
that
I want
looks
to play
cooler.
guitar.
Do you remember what he was playing on the guitar?
No, I just remember he was like this token dude that had a guitar.
Probably like Wonderwall or something.
I didn't. No, dude. I just.
Sublime.
It was in like the gym or something, and I just saw he had the guitar, and I don't know. I just remember.
In the gym?
Just I don't know, wherever like we
all right.
did assemblies or I don't even know.
Okay.
Oh, okay, like the
Like,
school.
yeah, the
some
school
school
gym.
gym or something.
People lifting weights, playing
And
guitar.
this is an
you know.
interesting note. It was a carpeted gym.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that is interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, that was
I also
weird.
remember I was on the basketball team, and I think I scored 1 point when I was young.
Hey man.
And I or maybe
Hey,
I
you
didn't-
hold on to that one.
I don't know
point.
if I scored a point or not, but I remember there was one kid who like scored 1 more point than me, and I was jealous of him. I think this could be total
He
bullshit.
scored
That's what
2 points.
That's what I'm. Yeah, seriously. So I was not good at basketball.
You made
when I
one
was-
free throw.
Yeah, seriously.
He made a jump shot.
Awesome.
But yeah, then.
So layups are for, right?
Yeah. I don't know. So yeah, then at some point when I was like 9, I got like a Squire red Fender, and I
classic Squires.
the Squire, and dude, my old guitar stick still has that. My old guitar tech still has that, but it's like has stickers all over it. I need that
nice.
back. I need to get that back.
Apparently, the Squires from the '90s are supposed to be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can
know
imagine
it sounds
that.
very general.
No, I'm
There's
sure. I mean, dude, there's some
I've-
Squires that I'm sure
yeah.
are fucking awesome.
just something about the quality of build, where they got the wood from, the
Right.
parts, the electronics were different, something like that. I mean,
Isn't that's like Epiphone versus what's the
Gibson?
right? Isn't
Yeah.
Epiphone like the Honda of
The Honda.
what's the yeah? It's like the Honda of
Yeah, so
Accord. It's Honda then Accord, right? No, I'm tripping out. It's Honda then Acura.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There we go, because they put the
Yeah, yeah.
H like.
Yeah.
So like Squire and Fender, and then Epiphone and
Like-
Gibson.
Right. Yeah, because there's some dope Epiphones.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, 100%.
They're like a quarter of the price.
Yeah, that was one of my first guitars, but
So I learned all the Blink-182 songs.
Oh,
Nice.
shit. What, Off Dude Ranch?
No, Enema of the State. I mean,
Enema,
yeah,
okay.
dude, look, that was the first band where like my mom bought every single Blink-182 record for me.
Okay.
Oh.
Have you seen them live?
Yeah, I have seen them.
They were
They're
dope
really
live.
good. Yeah,
They were
they're
dope
super good
live.
live.
The thing is I saw them live with Tom, and all I remember was like, dude, Tom just like does not like. Mark's up there like he's like trying to be like super professional and sing
Yeah.
the songs perfect,
Yeah.
and then Mark's just like, and dude, at some point he goes like, in the mic and he goes, sorry.
Damn, that's fun. That sounds about right. And
no,
shows are fun though.
Yeah, I know, and that's. I mean, obviously he's not in Blink-182. This is a guy from Alkaline Trio now, right? But that's all I remember. I was like, dude, Mark is like trying to be super professional, and Tom's just like, I don't even fucking care anymore.
There's always that guy in
I've
the
been
band.
playing these songs for fucking 20 years, and like, fuck you guys.
Yeah, apparently isn't that why they like cut ways or something? Like I think Tom wanted to be one of them wanted to be more serious and write more serious stuff.
Well, I know Tom DeLonge is like on the search for aliens too. Like,
Yeah,
he's into
yeah.
that conspiracy shit, which
Oh,
I'm
geez.
about. I'm
Yeah,
about that.
I'm
Like,
about that.
yeah.
I don't know if there's space or aliens, but if you're gonna search for it, like I support you, Tom.
Yeah,
But
yeah. For
Tom
sure.
DeLonge, you'll never listen to this. Maybe you will.
Maybe.
But if you
Never know.
are,
tag him.
what up, Tom? I love you, man. You changed my life when I was 9.
Tommy.
There you
Because yeah,
go.
dude, Blink was the first band that I was like, that would be fun.
They made it look fun.
100%.
And their
dude.
friendship too. It looked like they were
Dude.
having fun.
Yeah.
Like you're like they're all buddies playing music together.
Yeah, I mean,
know?
dude, how? That was
Making
like-
music videos, running around butt naked, like doing crazy.
Dude, that was the funnest looking band to be in.
Oh yeah.
You know, so that's
Yeah.
that's when it started. Like my thing was always I always wanted to have the band, and yeah, it started with Blink, 100%.
That kind of leads me to my next question. Not to sound like super organized or whatever, but how did you develop? What did you do to develop like your skill set? Like the whole purpose, I guess, of this podcast is to kind of get inside the creative process and the developmental process of different artists. So hopefully, like anybody listening is like a budding artist or musician just wanting to get out there and
Some
do the same
inspiration.
thing. Exactly that essentially you're doing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, what did you do to develop your skill set?
How did I develop my skill set?
I know that's a big
Well,
question.
I mean, you know, I think there's passion and you know, talent, and then skill is in there. But dude, I mean, like I said, when I got a guitar, all I remember, you know, like I said, I played violin, but I remember having a guitar when I was younger, and I didn't even know how to tune the thing, but I just still played it.
Yeah.
And then I remember like learning how to play a G chord.
Yeah.
And then I played it anytime I saw a guitar, I'd pick it up and I'd play G.
Yeah, like the first position chords. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about? Yeah.
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 So,
Yeah.
dude, for me, no one had to like tell me you had like, hey, you're gonna. Yeah, I started with violin, which was great, and I think as a
Of
singer,
course, yeah.
you know, my mom always said I was like a little ADD kid, always singing, and I'm still a little ADD kid.
Not
Sounds
much has
familiar.
changed.
So, dude, it's hard to think about. Well, okay, so I guess I'll start younger and then I'll go later, which is, yeah, I mean,
Sure, yeah,
later
yeah.
I had more focus on, I guess, developing my skill set. But,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, I pretty much taught myself how to play guitar. We got like a Casio keyboard at some point at my house, and I just played that. I
Same.
just played that thing. So, you know, and then
You brought that up like a couple days ago. You're like, yeah, with the little Casio loop, just like boom. Oh no, you brought that up.
Oh, at the jazz
Yeah,
thing.
the jazz
Yeah.
thing. But that's funny how
That
everyone
would've been-
we all know like the shitty old little
I mean, we
Casio
all
that has
mention
the
Casio, yeah.
has the little buttons that you can press for the made beats.
yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, Casio's killing it on the
Yeah.
beginner piano
For real.
fucking
yeah, man.
train. But yeah, dude, I mean, so, and I even remember my mom got me guitar lessons from this dude. I wish I could remember his name, but he told me not to come back. He's like, tell your mom that to not bring you back here anymore.
You're that ADD.
Well, no, because I would just do my own shit, and I wasn't doing what he wanted me to do, which is like, you got to learn this song or
learn this skill. And
how old were you? I'm just curious.
learn these intervals.
Dude, I don't know.
Do you remember?
Somewhere between 10 and 13.
Okay.
I think. It could have been earlier than that. It could have been like 9 or 8. I don't know.
Oh man.
But
that breaks my heart.
no, dude, no, it's great. It's so great thinking about that
Yeah.
because you know, music has been a thing that I've always wanted to do. It's never been like, you know, and people ask me like, oh, or people, you know, we're all musicians, and we meet people who are like, oh, I'd love to play guitar, or I would love to learn how to play piano.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, buy a guitar and just put it in your hands and see what happens. It's like, you don't have to have a guitar teacher. You don't have to have, you know, anything. You just have to have the drive to do it. And I had that drive to do it when I was younger. And that's why I feel like, you know, I mean, people can whatever. I feel like I have somewhat of my semi-own sound because I've never had a big, you know, drive to learn cover songs.
Right.
And I did with Blink, and I've definitely learned some cover songs. I've played a wedding or two in my life, and like, but I've never had the drive. I always like, you know, and I wasn't classically trained from the start. Even violin when I was younger was the Suzuki method, which is where the frets are on the violin. It's not reading music. And I did take some guitar in high school, and I took one semester of music college, but I didn't even know what I got in my grades. But yeah, I mean, you know, from a producer I was with and a friend who was in my band, like he was a classically trained piano player, and I learned things, and I know my keys, and I know structure, and I you know, but am I classically trained? Can I, you know, I play a bunch of different chords on the guitar, but can I tell you immediately like, hey, this is a C add 9, 7 diminished? No. I mean, I can figure out, I know what the notes are, and I know like what the root of it is, and I know if it's a minor, or I can tell if it's augmented or diminished, but can I play a chord and immediately tell you exactly what that chord is?
Right.
No, I can't. And you know, part of me feels like at some point in my life, I would love to just be perfectly trained and know everything. But I think music loses magic when you do know everything. And you could also argue that once you know everything, then you know the rules and you could break them. But
exactly.
But I also think that there's magic in not knowing. This actually brings me to, I used to be and I still am. I definitely like the earlier stuff, and I wanted to be the next Coldplay. And I was gonna talk about
nice.
I was gonna talk about Chris Martin in this.
Yeah, go for it, man.
But he you know, and I did this, and I've done this, and I've had songs like this. But I read one interview when he's like, sometimes I just like, I take the guitar and I tune it to something weird. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then I just play because there's a magic in not knowing what you're doing. You know, and I've always been a musician of like, I just figure it out. Like I play by ear and I make my way through. You know what I mean? And there's a magic to not knowing what you're doing, and I'm still that way. You know what I mean? Whether it's mixing or producing, and
right.
I mean, even me and Blake in the studio, it's like
for sure.
We like sometimes like we're just fucking around with something,
and then something great happens.
Something great happens. It's like, you know, and mixing's a great. I've gotten, you know, I humbly say, and I'm super grateful for all the like people who've said, dude, the mixes sound great, but I've never, you know, and I've been with a good mixer, and you know, I know some stuff, but dude, it's like, does it sound good to you? And yeah, you can mix by sight and you can know exactly what frequencies need to be boosted but you know, I've been a person by ear my whole life. And I've been a person that like, whether I got lessons or not, I did it. Like I got a guitar and I just played it because I wanted to do it. And I had a keyboard in front of me and I just like made my way and found chords and found what I liked. Yeah. And then made my own style from that. And so that's it. It's like, you know, if my thing to anybody would be, if you want to do music, do it. Don't let like, I need to get lessons or someone's got to show me. And yeah, it's like, I would also tell people, you can learn anything on YouTube, but it's like, you have to start with like putting the instrument. Yeah. Maybe learn how to tune it, but put the instrument in your hand and then just like mess around with it.
Of course.
You don't have to have someone going like, all right, put your finger here. This is G. Put your finger wherever the hell you want and like do stuff until it sounds good to you. So that's it, man. I mean, you know, that's how I started, and that's how my life has been since. And you know, I've learned a lot about producing and writing and all that kind of stuff. But you know, I've learned different instruments by just doing it, man. Just pick it up, like sit at the drums or play the guitar, or you know, I mean, even ukulele is probably my favorite instrument right now. And yeah, I have like a guitar toolkit app on my phone, and that has all the chords. But that was just an instrument that I just like picked up, and I was like, dude, this is awesome, man. I'm gonna play it. So,
well, I think that's very important that you stick to what really all musicians need to stick to.
Just play.
Is their ears, you know?
Oh,
exactly.
Because the ears are the ultimate
but no, that's probably
judge
just play
in the end. Because you could have everything technically, mathematically, theoretically right, but sometimes it just sounds like you've heard it before because it's so formulaic, you know? And sometimes the best stuff just comes out when you just kind of let it out and use your ear to drive the next melody or motive or chord change, you know?
Well, and
it keeps the curiosity in music, and I think that's what catches my ear. Like, I'm curious. If I'm not curious musically and I'm listening to a song and I kind of feel what chord change is going to come next, or I've heard this bass line before, then I just turn it off.
Right.
But if it keeps me guessing and wondering what's going to happen next, you know, that's when I just keep listening. So I think it's important that's a huge point I think you touched on.
Use your ears. I mean, music, it's all about your ears, man. Yeah, you know, definitely. and I think that's what, if you're gonna really train anything in your life, is your ears. And I forever am gonna be like, it's all about, to me, it's about taste. Like, dude, I'll be honest. I don't practice guitar every day. I don't sing every day. I don't like.
But you're blessed. You're blessed, Zach.
Oh, well, I appreciate it. I just don't, man. I
have to practice every day.
I sit down and I create and I do things, but no, I don't play guitar every day. I don't play piano every day. I don't, you know, but to me, it's like, and I probably should more. I mean, I'm not saying I hope like people are like, I'm gonna stop practicing because Zach says he never practices. but no, I mean, to me, in this point in my life, I'm more just about like the product of making the song, and that has so many different elements, from producing to playing to singing to writing to lyrics to all these process. Different things. And yeah, maybe down the road, you know, I'd love to have like an amazing piano teacher teach me more about piano. Like, that'd be great. But you know, it's like, it's about, to me, it's about taste. Like, you'll never see me be the guitar player that's like, I just,
your ukulele solo.
I mean, I do solo, but I'm just such a taste player, and that's like, you know, I don't know. I mean, yeah, maybe my taste would be better if I was more technically proficient, but I don't know. I think I've just, you know, there's obviously there's a whole spectrum of music. I mean, you have people who, I play the cello in the Philharmonic Orchestra. Is that person creative, or are they just super technically proficient at their instrument they can play exactly what's on the paper and what the conductor is saying? Yeah. You could say maybe their creativity and how they play it, but if you get really into like orchestration, it's all about the conductor and it's all about the symphony. So, you know, you have musicians who are not machines, but it's like, okay, here's your directive, and like you're playing that exactly what it is. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then you have, you know, other musicians or writers or producers who like, they just hear a sound and they make some random thing and it becomes a song. So, you know, music is very different, but, you know, I just come from a person that I want to be original artist. That's why, you know, I do what I do, and it's all about my taste and what I'm feeling. And I don't care to be the best guitar player. I don't care to be the best anything. I just want to make great songs that mean something to me, and that, you know, hopefully touch someone else or inspire someone else or give them some feeling. Or even if like someone just listens to my song for 3 minutes, and makes them feel better, that's great. Because I think as artists in the world, we are, you could call it a sacrifice or whatever, but I think, everyone believes in different things, and I believe in God, and whether you call it the universe or anything like that.
Yeah, for sure.
The most divine thing to me is like, to me, at least in my life, is I feel like I have been gifted, or I have had an inclination towards music. So the most spiritual true thing to me is to follow that. And I think any artist who feels an inclination, or at some point in their mind goes, I'm an artist, I'm going to follow that. Your duty in the world is to make your art. And I think at the end of the day, it's to inspire and touch
And
people and share it with others. And that's like, I would say too, it's like you have to be vulnerable, you have to be willing to put yourself out there, because that is if we talk about job, or like even if you think way back in the day of like Greek or 2000 AD, it's like you had sculptors and writers and blacksmiths and like these different things, and philosophers and artists, it was a huge thing, man. And musicians, whether you talk about Beethoven or even before that, it's like, we have a duty to put ourselves out there and make something real that touches people or makes something feel better. And music to me is one of the most divine things in the universe, and it is the universal language of the entire world.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
That was lovely. Well put, man.
So you really enjoy the creating process, but you also enjoy the performing side of it as well too, because you have to share the message.
We didn't talk about that.
But so, I mean, diving into the next question, like how would an artist that's trying to get shows and stuff that they don't know how to go about, or who to talk to, or the necessary steps to take, how would somebody go about getting a show?
Okay, well, I'll say one thing first. Yes, performing is one of my favorite things, and yeah, I feel like I've been in the studio a lot of my life, and I can't wait till the next chapter where I can really tour and perform. Because yes, I love creating, but my goals and my dreams of being like successful as an artist is having those shows where tens of thousands of people come out, where I get to headline festivals. Like that's what I want. Because there's only music or politics that bring that many people together to stand like right next to each other, being super uncomfortable or sweaty or hot, to be like, we're stoked about this one dude or 5 dudes on stage. And there's an energy to that, and I can't wait for that. And performing is one of my favorite things. And I'm a writer and producer and artist at heart, but I love performing, and that's where you get to be raw, and you get to have that one-on-one present active experience with people. But yeah, for artists who want to get booked, I mean, first off, it's the music. It's your, if we're like, okay, I see a promoter, I'm going to send them something to get booked. I mean, yeah, you can send them a live video, but what you should first send them is your music. And hopefully your live show sounds somewhat similar to what your recorded sounds like. But, here's what I feel like I've talked to so many artists in my time of doing music where they're like, hey, we just did a 5-song EP with our friend for $400. And it's like, and then I listen to it and it sounds like that. Like it sounds like you paid $400 to your friend to do your 5-song EP or something. You know what I mean? So it's like, I would just tell anybody, like, look, at the beginning, spend as much money as you can. Spend as much money as you have to get the music sounding the best that it can, because that is your card, that is your marketing, that is everything from the start. If the music doesn't sound good, you're not going to be able to like cover that up with anything, whether it's branding or looks or whatever, dude. So it's like
auto-tune.
Yeah. You just gotta make sure the music sounds great, and then you gotta make sure you rehearse, so that if a booker really goes, hey dude, I really like this, you gotta make sure that you bring it when they book you.
There you go.
But I would say,
say you have amazing music, and then
where to go from
there?
there?
Exactly. You have the songs. It's actually funny because I remember I was waiting in line for like Bunkhouse, and you just walked up to the front door and you're like, what's up, man? You like walked in and I was like, dang, and had to like pay $20 and stuff.
Okay, well, so that is a whole other thing. I will say every musician out there in any single local scene, if you go to shows at a certain venue and you play there once or never, make friends with the door guy. Talk to the bouncers. Make
That
friends
makes a
with
lot
them.
of sense.
Dude,
Yeah.
bro, I mean, since I've been in different scenes for a long time, whether it's Sacramento or Vegas, and I always make friends with the door guys. They always know me.
Yeah.
So I rarely pay for shows because I make friends. Be nice. Make friends with the people at the venue. Make friends with the door guy. Make friends with the bouncer. Like, get to know them.
You touched on a key word. 2 keywords. Be nice.
Yeah.
Be friendly, be nice. I mean, and it's like, dude, if you go to venues and you're like, it's like, dude, it starts with just going to venues. Go see your friend, go see a local band, and then ask like, hey, how do you play here? Then you figure out, hey, who books here? And then you talk to them. You email them or you figure out who they are at the venue and you go up and you say hi to them. I feel like,
There you go.
you know, it's really as simple as that. And once, you know, it's like, if they see you and you're there, it's like, you know, yeah, email someone, but if you can make a face-to-face connection with someone,
Interpersonal connection. Yeah. It's kind of, I feel like that's getting lost these days with social media.
Yeah.
We all I gotta constantly check myself just to remind myself, like, it's just a tool. It's just a tool. You can't stop going like door to door, you know, shaking hands.
well,
you know.
yeah, I mean, I think, look, social media is great. And dude, I'm, you know, the situations that I've had and the opportunities I've had, if it wasn't for
sure.
social media, I wouldn't have them. But
Yeah.
if we're talking about like a musician starting in a local scene, you got to go to that local venue and you got to hang out there and you got to go to shows and you got to meet people there and you got to connect with other musicians and you got to figure out who books the venue and you got to meet them.
Yep.
Whether you suck at that moment, dude, just like meet them. Hey, I'm a musician. Like, I'd love to play here one day. Like, how can I go about that? You know what I mean? And they'll tell you. They'll say, hey, yeah, just send me an email. Or
They'll give you
whatever.
a business card.
You know what
That's
I mean?
it,
And
yeah.
maybe maybe you have to bug them. And dude, you know,
Persistence.
Look, there's a very fine line between persistence and bugging people. But if you want anything in this life, whether you're an entrepreneur or whether you're a musician or whether you're anything, you got to skate that line. And you do got to bug people. You should bug people until they say, hey, dude, you're bugging me. Stop.
Yeah.
But until they tell you that, bug the shit out of them.
Yeah. They're
If you-
there.
and what I've also realized too, man, is there's some people who I wanted to work with, and it's like what you need to realize is people are fucking busy. And I tell this because you know, I've had some really great things happen, and I've had a lot of people hit me up lately. And
Yeah. Why is that, Zach?
I'll get to that, but the point is, you know, I tell people be patient with me, but I'm like, yo, follow up with me. But regardless, even if you don't say that, like, dude, bug people. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. It's such an old dumb saying, but it's very true. You should, if you want something, if you want to work with someone, if you want to, like, you know, whatever, you gotta bug people until they just completely ignore you. But it's like, you never know. Like, I've had people, I've sent 10 texts to someone, and then like 3 months later I sent another text, and then they finally were like, oh, hey man, like, come kick it right now.
Right now.
And if I didn't go, hey, I'm gonna send this dude a text again right now, like, whatever. It's like, don't think just because someone's not getting back to you means, it doesn't mean you're bugging them. It doesn't mean they don't like you. It doesn't mean anything. It could just mean like they're fucking busy.
Busy, man.
That's it.
So don't give up on people and bug the shit out of them until they tell you otherwise. And
That's right.
and that's it, dude. You have to, like, man, it's so important. It's like people get scared about, like, oh, I didn't want to bug him or like annoy him. It's like, dude, fucking annoy that person until they tell you otherwise. And there's some people who I'm like, yo, hey, you, like, I've been bugged by people. And honestly, like, me and Blake wouldn't, and no, I haven't been annoyed by you, but like, Blake's a perfect example of that. You know, we have
Yo, Zach, let's work. Yo, Zach, come on.
no,
yo.
dude, he's a great example. And honestly, and he's a perfect example of like the song that we just finished is fucking incredible. And if Blake didn't bug me about finishing the song, it wouldn't have happened. And I commend him for bugging me as much as he has. And I'm very grateful for this
Very
man right
nice.
here. And but yeah, it's like, that's why I fuck with him, is because he bugged me until and you were at the studio. It's like that day I was like, I've had so much shit to work on, and in my mind I was like, Blake was like, yeah, me, we're gonna roll through.
Jared.
Sorry, I'm like in my fucking head right now.
No,
Jared,
hey man,
yeah,
you're in the flow state.
But
no
me and Jared are gonna roll through.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. In my mind, I was like, all right, dude, just come for like an hour, and then I gotta work on something. But as soon as we got in the studio, you saw that whole thing happen where we pulled up the song, and then we fucking worked on it for like 5
a.m. man.
And then literally, I sent that song to my PR guy and my distributor, and they're like, dude, this is the best thing you've made yet. And if it wasn't for Blake bugging the shit out of me and us getting together for an hour to hang out for a little bit, that song wouldn't have come across. So it's like, dude, I'll say it just one more time. I said it a couple times, but dude, you got to bug people.
It's important.
It's very important.
And by the way, I didn't bug you just because of all the greatness that's been happening to you.
No, I
bugged
know.
you. I was bugging you prior to that.
No, I wasn't saying you were bugging me because of that, but no, we've been.
Well, you want to just.
But
get that on the record.
I'll just get that on the record because for what I'm about to dive into next. But.
Well, yeah, but no, we started working together at some point, and then you had some shit you had to deal with, and then you got out of that, and then you wanted to work together again, and then by that point, I had a lot of shit going on, so you had to bug me to finally make me go, all right, dude, let's get together. Yeah. But it's like, had he not bugged me that much or gave up, it's like, we wouldn't be here where we are. We would have that song done. And so, yeah, dude, it's like, you got to fight for what you want, man. And that's going to come at the expense of fucking bugging and annoying some people.
Awesome. So is there a date when it's going to be released?
So tentative date on the song me and Blake just finished. It's called Imperfect Love. It's going to be out September 14th.
Awesome.
That day may change, but right now that's what the date is. Yeah, 14th.
Great. Is that going to be part of an EP or an LP or some sort of compilation or maybe
now
it
is. Yeah.
I think it's going to be the first. I mean, it technically doesn't have to be the first song.
Sorry to push it out there.
No. I was. Well, it's interesting. We accidentally kind of started the second song while we were making
like, well, we have an EP on the way. Like,
well, but also when I talked to my distributor, he was like, stores, they're more down to push stuff, and they're more excited about it when they know that like this single is gonna follow. It's gonna be followed by something else. So once he said once he said that to me, I was like, okay, well, once we do this, then we need to have an EP ready to go. So my tentative timeline would be this single comes out in September, and then we have an EP by November-ish.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to hearing it.
Yeah, man.
Sounded great in the studio that day.
I'm looking forward to hearing it too.
Yeah.
Awesome. I have a quick question. Because you were touching on a few things that some musicians, including myself, struggle with throughout their careers, and that is the process of going about hiring the right people, i.e. musicians. You said PR guy,
right.
Distribution. What is your process to find the right people that are going to work hard for you, including musicians? Which are the most important ones?
Co-producers.
Okay, so for Instagram, he just said,
of course, and yes, co-producers. Yeah.
So I'll just repeat the question, just because for my one live viewer right now, but hopefully more that will be watching this. But yeah, I'll just say. So the question was, how do I go upon hiring and finding distributors or musicians or producers or people to work with? I think if I'm honest, dude, it's all trials. It's all trials and failures, bro.
Just getting out there networking.
And that's the thing. And just like any investment, it's like, you're going to spend money. I mean, dude, it's like I've spent money on PR and like, I didn't get that much, or I've spent time with a person and then it didn't work out. It's like, you got to be willing to go through it, dude. You got to be willing to spend the money to invest to see what's right. So, musicians, dude, to be honest, dude, when I had the band, I played with over 30 people. And that goes into a different tangent of why I don't want to be in a band anymore, but we don't need to go there anymore. But I just was, basically to put a...
I was going to ask you that.
Well, yeah, to make a long story short, I just got tired of, I just got in too many situations where I felt, I I just got let down a lot, man, and I was tired of relying on people. You know what I mean? I was tired.
I know that struggle so hard.
So it's just like, and I still I love collaborating. Almost all my releases have been collabs.
Because it's the best part about being in a band is the collaborative process.
Yep.
Exactly.
The worst part is the scheduling and the flakery.
100%. And you know, I still love collaborating. I still play live with other people, and but you know, no matter what, it doesn't affect my brand and who I am. And I try to think of a moniker forever, but I finally I'm so glad I just decided to be what my name is, Zack Gray. But yeah, man, it's
yeah, for sure.
No matter what though, because that's just me. It's my music. Like if everyone else said fuck you, I don't want to work with you, like it wouldn't change. Because that was the thing, man. Like I changed band names like 5-6 times when I was younger, and it was just
which is easy to do.
Which was just like I was tired of this, and I was also tired of at some point it's like you have these picture of these 4 guys, and people ask me like, oh hey, do you guys get together and jam and write? And then at some point I'm like, no, it's me in my room making music, and people think like it's this band.
Yeah.
And I just got tired of that. I got tired of like, no, it's not. It's me. And then when I have a show, I'm like, hey guys, let's do this, or like, hey, we need to record, like let's get together. But I got tired of that. So you know, I'm so glad I always wanted to have the band, but you know, sometimes life, you know, changes a little bit, and it's not what we necessarily wanted, but maybe what we end up getting is really what's best. Because I think as humans, sometimes we don't know what's really best for us. I didn't know that like maybe just me doing my own thing, that was gonna be best, even though like I wanted to have the band, but life forced me into like, dude, just do your own thing. Just do it. So,
would you say that you grew more from that process and that mindset?
Oh, dude, yeah, man. I mean, and then I learned all the skills that I'd taken from doing the band and just that, and put it all into my own music. So that's why, you know, I'm sure people in Vegas when I moved here were like, who is this guy and where'd he come from? As like, you know,
this dude's sick, man.
But yeah, it's like that just came from years of like doing the band and then learning how to produce, and then I just put all my contacts and skills and everything into my own shit. You know what I mean? And that's why I feel like it's really taken off now. But it's because I grinded with the band for so long. You know, it's not like I've been a solo artist forever. I you know, only in the last 3 or 4 years did I decide I'm gonna be Zack Gray.
So would you recommend other budding musicians, younger kids, 13, 14, 12, that want to be in a band, to go the band route or go the solo route?
That's a good question.
That's hard, man. I mean, you know, I would think, I think they should do what they feel like they want to do. And then, you know, that will either take them into that and on, and the band will work, or maybe they'll have the same experience I have, and they'll, you know, figure out that they don't want to have a band.
Because they could be the people that were like the people in your band instead of you, you know? So like,
yeah, it's just like, I mean, I wouldn't say either, but I would just say I would just say if you get to the point that you're in a band and you're just like, you're look, I just got to a breaking point where I just like, I tried and tried and tried, whether it was one person or the band or 2 people. I got to a point where like, okay, dude, I'm done.
It's
like,
frustrating.
Like, I mean, I even had like multiple times with the same person, like, let's do this. And then like, they like moved out somewhere, and then like, dude, and then like got a girlfriend and like disappeared. And it was just like, I just got to a point where like, I was just done, dude. I was just like, I'm done dealing with this. I don't want to do a band anymore. I'm tired of relying on people. So I would just say, yeah, it's like, if you get to the point, if you're in a band right now and like, you know, don't make sure the band, I mean, I just think it's a rare thing where the band works, because it's like, everybody's got to be on the same page. Everybody's got to be about it. Right. Or at least, honestly, at least 2 people have to be about it. You can have a band of 6 people, but if you got just one other guy who's like, it's the team, and then you guys deal with the other band, that's it. You just need one other person to be just as about it, and that's it. Yeah. But
to collaborate.
2 people. That's a strong number.
2 people. 2 people. A band can be 2 people. And if you look through history, I mean, most huge bands, it's really 2 people. who make all the decisions and write and stuff like that. And
Like
sometimes
songwriters and
sometimes
stuff,
it's
yeah,
more
yeah.
like, bro, it's like, Radiohead is one of my favorite bands of all time. And that's one of the bands where it's like, damn, it's all of them and they're fucking all dope.
Oh,
And that's
man.
what I wish I could have that. And maybe one time I will have that with some side project or something, but
Yeah,
I don't know. But,
yeah, for sure.
but I was done waiting for that. So, and music's been my dream. And like, I just was done relying on, my dream with other people. I was just like, I want this, and it's not working out so far. And at that point, like, I felt like I'm getting older. So it's like, dude,
It's a numbers game.
It's a numbers game, but it's also just like how many more times and people did I want to go through? The thing is like now it's like, I've collaborated with people on lots of my songs, and some people I don't work with anymore. But no matter what, even if I've said this to lots of people, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it here on this podcast, but even if like I worked with 100 people and 100 people just hated me after working with me,
Right.
it wouldn't change what my name is, it wouldn't change my brand, and it wouldn't change what I'm doing. Because like, okay, the band's not working out. Oh, now I got to change the band name. Now I got to start something new. It's like,
Right.
now I can collaborate with whoever I want, do a collaboration, me and this person, or like me and Blake, like, hey, we're working on my song. It's still going to come out as my name. But even if Blake said, fuck you tomorrow, like it wouldn't change anything about like what I'm trying to do. I wouldn't
Right.
have to change the band name. I wouldn't have to like, you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like, now I can work with whoever I want. I can do side projects. I can do collaborations, and like, if it doesn't work out with that person or these couple people, it doesn't change my whole career. It's like, dude, I got to the point with bands, it's like you build this whole brand with the band, and then it doesn't work out with these people, and it's just like, fuck, dude.
Oh yeah.
Now I have
Wasted
these
energy.
pictures,
And it knocks you out too.
Yeah.
dude.
Emotionally, it's like breaking up with a girl.
Yeah.
Dude, it is, man.
It's just as bad, especially if you're really passionate about your endeavor. Not even just music. It could be art. It could be a film project. It could be anything. But when you have a crew of people that you just grind with 4 hours a day, 2.5 hours a day, or whatever, for years even, and then it doesn't work out, it hits you hard, man.
Yeah, man.
You know?
It's and dude, like, if you're out there and you got 4 or 5 guys that are dope and you're doing it, like, do it, man. I'm jealous. Like, I don't have any regrets, but I will say there is a part of me that is jealous of the bands out there that have made it work.
Yeah.
Because it never worked for me. And maybe that's me. And I do take responsibility for everything that happens in my life. So whether,
course.
and maybe it is me, but regardless, like, there's obviously something about me that it didn't work out, and that's fine. And I have to accept that, but doesn't mean it couldn't work out later if I tried more. I just was tired of trying. I was tired of trying. And it's not, like I said, maybe that next person I met, maybe it would have worked, but I got to the point where I was done trying to make a band work. So then
Well, it definitely,
and that's it.
It definitely sounds like you're enjoying the journey now. I mean, I think Blake briefly mentioned something earlier that he wanted to touch
So
on.
Go for it.
so what do you got going on YouTube right now?
Okay, well, I'll start with the story. So yeah, I've had this last month, and this year has been the biggest year of my music career so far, and I'm very, very grateful, and I feel very blessed, and this isn't a test to like you keep going, and I feel like you need have your goal, but you don't have to know how you're gonna get there, man. And I think a lot of people get caught up on how am I going to get there? How am I going to get all these plays? How am I going to get money? How am I going to get shows? And it's not about how, it's about the drive that you want it. And then you have that, and just doing, and then once you have that, all the how things fill themselves in. So
that being the music.
That being the music and the opportunities and the collaborations and the people you meet. So, I've had 2 releases on Chill Nation. And if anyone knows Chill Nation, they're a sister YouTube network of Trap Nation. And they're actually called the Nations. They have Bass Nation and R&B Nation and Trap Nation and Chill Nation and House Nation.
Wow.
Their 2 biggest networks are Trap Nation and Chill Nation. Trap Nation has like 20 million on YouTube, and Chill Nation has like a little over 5 now. But basically how this started was this dude named Mune. His real name's Pranay. He's this kid from India. He hit me up on Facebook. I had no idea who he was. He said he knew me from somewhere. I don't know. I mean, or maybe he thought I was someone else or whatever it was, man. But he listened to my music and sent me an instrumental, and I think I was working on other stuff. It took me a while to get to it, but I was just like, man, this kid's persistent and bugging me, and
Persistence.
he's persistent and he's bugging me, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna do this song, and you know, I was vibing out with it, and I had some melody, and it's so funny that the first melody I sang was literally what the lyrics are to the chorus. It's a song called "Lie Over You," and as I was singing over it, it was like, lie over you, lie over you. But like that, like my mumbles. Like I always start songs with just like
with a bunch
I just
of mumbles
sing
and then
whatever comes to my head, and it's mumbles.
Transcribing those words, like
yeah.
figuring them out.
Sometimes it's actual lyrics, and sometimes it's just random vowel sounds. But that's a song where like that was literally the melody I sang was "Lie Over You," and we made that make sense, which I guess it does now. Which is also cool because I didn't know this, but I figured out a month ago that there's no other song in the world called
"Lie Over You."
So I was like, that's fucking awesome.
That is very convenient.
Cool. So if anyone types "Lie Over You," like our song will come out. But anyways,
nice.
the story is, so I finally finished this track. Me and Mune self-released it, and then the dude is a hustler and has made a bunch of connections with electronic, you know, artists and people at labels or whatever, and another DJ that he had met was friends with the guys at Chill Nation and was like, they want to sign the song. And yeah, so it got signed to them, they released it, and then, you know, the same dude who he had hooked up with and the guys at the label sent me another song by this artist named Pikes. I honestly, dude, it's so crazy. I don't even remember. It's so crazy.
Don't even know.
And like, I think his name's Frederick. And if you're listening to this, man, thanks for, you know, having me on your track. But yeah, so this song called, you know, the "Lie Over You" release went really well, and it's still going well. And they released that on Chill Nation. But yeah, this song called "Alone" was the next song I did with them. And, I wrote it. I had a friend, really close friend, whose young nephew killed himself. And, I wrote this song about suicide, and I wrote it also about kind of Avicii's death, since it was a dance song. And so that song's called "Alone," and I finished that, and that came out on Chill Nation, and just in the last like couple weeks, it's just been blowing up. I mean, you know.
So how did contracts work out with like that whole situation?
I don't know if I want to
get into that.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like a standard contract, but it's like they have such a huge network that, you know, it was great.
Well, you get a lawyer, right? You got a lawyer to read it.
Yeah. And look, no matter what, even if the people come back to you and say, hey, we're not going to change anything, it's like, you should know what you're reading, and no matter what, have a lawyer, kids. Have a lawyer look at your shit.
Yeah.
Be informed. Learn how to read a contract, and don't be naive. Because the more that you know how to read a contract, the less your lawyer's gonna have to, you know, spend on it, because you can already find things to point out. But anyways, so yeah, the song came out on June 26th, and today it's over 1.6 million, and I don't know what's happening, but like
1.6 now.
1.6 million.
1.6 million.
Man.
It's like a few days ago it was at a million,
right?
or something.
Yeah,
I just posted it was at a million like 3 days.
3 days ago. Last week it was
Crazy.
at like 700,000 and just popped up like a million like real quick.
Well, hey man, congratulations for that. Wow.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, it's still crazy to me, man. I mean, it's weird. Like when it passed like 300,000, I was like, dude, there's something wrong. There's like some glitch or something.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're
I know
saying
that
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 to me.
seems like
There's a glitch in the
I
Matrix.
feel like that sounds like narcissistic, or like,
Yes.
oh, there must be a glitch. Like it's so good that like, I don't know. No,
It doesn't
The song-
sound narcissistic. It sounds
it's a
the
good song.
opposite, actually. You
I
sounds
just
modest.
I think the song is good. You know, I always push myself to, you know, I mean, whether I think it could be better or not, I just like, you know, I don't know. I was just, I don't know, man. I mean, it was weird. It was not that I didn't expect it to like do well or blow up, but I just think, you know, I've been doing music for a really long time, and I'm very confident about what I am, but I have yet to have had that thing that's like, oh shit, like it's really starting to move.
Nice.
So this was the first thing. So it was really, I guess the best word is it was surreal, you know? So yeah, and in a weird way, like, and that's totally honest, is like, I really did think like, this is weird. Like, are they like buying views or something? Like, I don't know what I thought, but when it was starting to get over to like 300,000, 400,000, I was like, dude, this is getting like crazy. And then
buying views. Could you explain that?
I don't
Is that
know.
a practice?
I don't
Yeah,
even know if that's a
that's-
thing.
it
I
is
mean,
a thing.
I think
It is
it's
a
a thing
thing.
on YouTube, right? I
Just
mean,
bots and like different stuff you could buy, but like you can buy Instagram followers and stuff.
right. And I think that's probably true for every platform. I'm sure
Well,
I'll just admit it. Yeah, I bought SoundCloud streams for sure.
they do. I mean, they
I
are a
just like
The
business.
truth comes out.
I know. It's
No.
whatever. I mean, dude, it's
No,
like, you know,
But as
yeah,
far
it's
as
like-
Chill Nation goes, they're a business and they have their interests at heart. And so even if they were doing that, let's just say even if they did, it's 1.6 million.
Yeah,
here's what I
that'd
think.
be a lot
Here's
of
what I
money
think.
for
Even
all those views.
if you were buying views or something like that, and I don't know. I don't know, and not that that's what I even think that is going on, but I think there's obviously got to be channels and ways to promo stuff. Not that it's like buying fake views, but maybe they are pushing it, or I don't know. But I what I do know is yeah, man, it's like, you know, from the releases from like recent to like 6 months ago or even a year ago, there's only a couple that have peaked 1 million. Like most of them are between 100K and 500K. And so this song is obviously resonating or something. But what, you know, I was actually having this conversation the other day, and a lot of my songs are about my own relationships or things I struggle with.
Personal experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is actually the one song as of late.
It's about someone else.
It was about someone else, and it was kind of about like how can I it was about just like a commentary and like just an emotion of writing about suicide and my friend's young nephew who killed himself, and thinking about Avicii who killed himself, and like what I would want, or what I imagine someone close to someone who's killed themselves, what would they want to say, you know? And that's why, you know, the lyric is
Powerful.
is, oh my god, I can't think of it right now.
I'm sorry.
What I would give the world for one more chance to tell you, love, that you don't have to fight this alone. I can't remember. It's crazy. I can't remember all the lyrics right now, but yeah, it's about like, you know, what you would want to say to that person, and wishing you could be there, and telling them like you don't have to fight this alone, and saying like, I'm sorry that I, you know, wasn't there for you. I wish I would have known. I wish you would have, you know, some of the lyrics are like, one of the lyrics is, I wish you would have let me know, you know, and so yeah, man, I think I'm very honored and blessed that it is that song that is doing as well as it is, because, you know, I think it's a song that I hope's help people, and I hope that people that are sad or depressed or thinking about suicide listen to it and they know they're not alone.
That's awesome, man.
And so yeah, man, it's really cool that, you know, it's a song that I didn't write about me, has nothing to do with me. It's a song I literally wrote in hopes of helping other people and thinking about suicide and people that are close to other people who've dealt with that. So, and at the end of the day, man, you know, obviously I have my own, you know, self goals of getting where I want to with music, but my ultimate goal is to, and I think what ultimately is fulfilling, and what I know will be more fulfilling is getting to a level of influence or power,
spreading a message
and helping the world, man. You know, we're only here on this earth for a little bit of time, and yeah, I want to be known as a kind person that you know, put himself out there and made a positive impact in the world, and inspired people to be themselves and you know, and do the same thing for others, man. So it's really cool, and I think I don't think it's any coincidence. I don't think it's random that, you know, it's that kind of song for me that, you know, is the first one to kind of make that really huge jump. You know,
to me, it sounds, from what I gather, like all the variables were at the right part, they were at the right place in your lifetime because of the decisions that you made artistically and creatively, I think, because if you were still, let's say, if you were still doing the band thing, this might not have happened.
Well,
you know?
no way, man. I mean,
And if you
yeah.
would have taken the guitar lessons from the guy, let's say he wanted to give them to you.
Well, that at that point was not my choice. I guess it was my choice to
but
not
you could have
learn, not listen to him. That was my choice. So
you could have persisted and said, "No, I'm taking these lessons, motherfucker." You know,
my
Mom.
mom's paying for these. I'm gonna sue you, man.
I mean, it's a cool story though, and it's great, man. I mean, all the variables were in the right place for this to happen.
Yeah, man, and you know,
know?
well, and what you're really talking about is timing, and you know, my biggest lesson of my whole life, especially as
Patience.
is patience. You got it. So
And you had faith in yourself to
Yes.
keep going and
Yes.
following your ear and following your music.
because you don't know. Like I said, we as humans you don't know when it's the best time for you. You can't decide
Exactly.
like this is my time.
The world
right now.
decides.
But what you can decide is whether to quit or not.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
So
You know,
the time. It's all about timing, man.
Yeah.
And if
the
you
time is now.
Yeah, but if you stop, that time will. The most important thing I was gonna say is it is about right timing, and the things will happen at the right time when it is the right time. But if you stop, that time will never come.
awesome. On that note,
Yeah.
Yeah, so besides YouTube, where could some fellow listeners find you on other platforms?
My music's everywhere, from iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google, Amazon. I don't know, the Tidal, Deezer, all that stuff.
would you like to plug anything? Website, Instagram?
I need to update it a little bit more, but my website is zackgraymusic.com, and that is ZACKGRAY and then music. My Instagram and Twitter are Zack Gray, ZACKGRAY. I think my Facebook is Zack Gray Music. My SoundCloud is Zack Gray. Pretty much everything is
Zack Gray.
Zack Gray, ZACKGRAY, except for Facebook and my website.
Awesome.
And it's funny, man. I'll just say again how grateful I am, like for at least having Instagram and Twitter at Zack Gray, because I didn't even know I was going to be a solo artist. But when Instagram started, I had the band one, and then I was just like, I'm gonna make a personal one too, because I guess that's what you do. So the fact that I have
How many Zack Gray, the
on
actual one?
Twitter and Instagram, it doesn't have to be Zack Gray official or Zack Gray.
1196.42.
Super grateful, man.
Underscore.
Like,
Yeah.
it's perfect. Yeah. So yeah, ZACKGRAY. Yeah, man. And then yeah. So the next things I have two. I will talk about two collaborations I have coming up that I'm really excited about.
Great.
I have a song coming out with an awesome producer called Nurko. Working on a track with him right now, and then another really amazing producer named Fairlane. They've both had releases on Trap Nation and a bunch of other electronic stuff, and done some awesome remixes and have their own original music as well. So, but both those songs I'm really excited about. Those will come out, sometime in the next couple months, and then the next single that will be released tentatively on the 14th of September is Imperfect Love, followed by an EP,
Yeah.
hopefully in
Awesome.
November. And then I will plug
Gentlemen.
two shows.
Nice.
Thanks, bro. I have a show. I've been playing at least once a month at Container Park, which is one of my favorite places to play.
Yeah, that's a sick venue, honestly.
Yeah,
Container
no,
Park in
super
Las
sick.
Vegas, Nevada.
Shout out
For
to Sal.
those listening.
I will shout out to my band, Mike Hoffman, Ty Wright, Kenny Clark.
Nice.
Love you guys. But yeah, so Container Park, the 31st, 10:30, and then I am playing at Velveteen Rabbit for the monthly Connected. My boy Mario and Jordan on September 20th. It's like a pre-Life is Beautiful show, but probably not going to be playing anytime in October because I want to plan a kind of big headlining show and maybe an EP release in November with maybe the EP to come. So that's what I got coming
Nice.
up, and I'm excited, man. So
I'm
thanks for
stoked
having me,
as
man.
well.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for stopping by and sharing your music with us, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, man.
All right.
God bless.
God bless.
Thank you. Signing off.
Signing off.
What a little salute.
Oh wait, I switched the camera angle. Hold on. There you go. Now you can salute.
Creative Complex signing off.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll do that from now on, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Peace out.
Late.